Hey everyone, my name is Rachel and I post pictures on Sims 2 places like Mod the Sims and Tumblr and some of the Facebook groups. And I have been taking pictures for a long time now, and I kind of just want to make a video to show you ways you can improve your picture game in Sims 2 because there's um, a lot of ways you can do it, and I'm just showing you my methods on how to get like high quality pictures or how you can pose your Sims and get rid of all of like distracting UI elements in the background. So I was just gonna show you really quick. Um, Here's two Sims of mine named Sophia and Halen. They're a couple. Um, and I will start out by just giving you the basics. Um, my game is paused. There's no red pause line. In a regular game, you will get that. I have a mod that removes it. And I will put all mods and creators and links in the bottom of my video, so you can go find them there. But so this is them. My game is paused. Um, let's say I want to take a picture of them. I will hit tab on my keyboard. That will remove any of the user interface. And then you can freely look around by dragging your mouse. If you want to move forward, these are some keyboard shortcuts I like to do. If you want to move forward, you can push the W key like that. If you need to move back, you can push the S key. Left and right, left would be A, right would be D. So it's like if you play any other games, those are some like directional keys you can do in other games, and that works here in the tab picture mode. Some other helpful keyboard shortcuts for pictures is if you hit Q key, you can lower your camera. So in the regular game, it just lowers to like or about the ground, but that helps for upward shots. If you want upward shots like that, if you want to raise your camera, you can hit E key. That will raise. So, because you can't do that um, with the mouse in picture mode, you can just move the camera around um, in tab mode. But so Q to lower, E to raise, W forward, S back, A left, D right. Another useful two keys are the plus will give you tight shots like that, and the minus will kind of zoom out. Just be careful though, the farther you zoom out, the more the picture kind of fish eye. It like bends the sides a little. But that's how you can get like tight shots. Like if you're in a bathroom or in a room in a house or something, you can hit the minus key to get kind of all that detail. Um, Another actual helpful set of keys on the keyboard is if you have an extended keyboard and you are in tab mode and your house has walls down and not all the floors are there, but you want your house in the background to be full up, the page up key and the page down key can lower and raise floors. So if I want the house to be full in the background, I can do page up and you see how I don't have my roof is because the walls are down. So home button will raise walls and there's my roof. Below the home key on an extended keyboard is the end key and that will lower your walls. But I like to have them all up so it's like a full background. So like if I zoomed out, you could see there. Whoa, sorry, there's something across the street I just ran into. There, like that. You could see the entire house, and it's not walls down or floor down. Anyway, so that's how you could just take a regular picture. If I wanted to pose them, there's a bunch of pose boxes you can download. You just have to search for them. There's a bunch of really good creators out there still making pose boxes like Clara and Ilary. But I grabbed this one out of my catalog. It's a couples pose box. And you can just drag that somewhere. Off screen, you know it won't be in the background. And to pose your sim, you would just click your sim you want to pose and pick a pose. Sometimes poses aren't very inherent. You just kind of have to click through them until you find one you like. And the more you use them, the more you know and remember which ones are which. So I'm going to click him and have him start this pose 10. It kind of looks funny because he's not like placed right, but that's his pose. And I'm going to click her and do it. You notice that both thumbnails are highlighted. Sometimes the game does this, and it's no big deal. You can go into buy or build mode just to get it back so one is selected. So I'm going to pose her in pose 9, and I'm going to start that. So it looks like she's holding him around. She's supposed to hold him around the neck, and he's supposed to be kissing her cheek. The cheat move _objects_on is very vital when you take pictures, and you're especially posing pictures, because otherwise you cannot pick sims up and manhandle them and move them around. And I'm pretty sure all of us know that cheat because there's been times we just need to move stuff that you can't regularly move. So I'm going to move him over here. Now you notice he's on the grid, which you can't get him close enough, and he kind of snaps and goes upside down like a weirdo. So there's a couple other cheats you want to add in here. One is boolProp space snapObjectsToGrid false, space false. This will allow you to move them just all around willy-nilly off the grid. But you still have this problem where he can't really get close to her without snapping. She can get close to him. Maybe that'll work. But if that doesn't work, there's these things called OMSPs, which stand for one more slot, please. Those are like little trays you can put sims on and slide them around so they can get close to things without snapping. I actually had one earlier. So we're going to move them together like that. It looks like there's some clipping. Maybe he needs to be taller. If you have a pose box where it doesn't look like they're lining up and maybe one of the sims needs to be taller, there's a cheat you can put in called stretch skeleton. And 1.0 is the default adult height. So that's what they are right now. If I want to make him taller, I put 1.04. So he's a little bit taller, but he's still, I don't know, it's still not jiving. So some of these pose boxes you gotta kind of finagle to get right, because his face is totally like in her face, like not in a good way. I'm gonna make him a little taller and see if that helps. And to do stretch skeleton, you'll want to do it in live mode. You'll have to click whatever sim you want to stretch their skeleton. I'll make him super tall. I'm gonna go 1.7. Alright, that looks like his face is lining up now. Let's see about moving him. Maybe he's not supposed to kiss her. Maybe this will work. I don't know. And the great thing with poses is sometimes you can use them in ways that they weren't meant to be used. Okay, maybe he wasn't supposed to kiss her cheek in the first place. It looks like his arm's clipping, but since we're doing a front shot, it doesn't look like it's clipping. You could probably, that's probably fine. Alright, and the one more slot please objects are usually recolorable to clear for that exact purpose if you don't want those big purple trays in the pictures. So here they are and they're posed. I'm going to go back into tab mode and just take a nice couple picture of them. So that's how you pose your Sims. Now, let's say you're a storyteller and there's other Sims you want in the picture, but they're not part of the household. There's something called Sim Blender, which is a really robust piece of custom content. It's a hacked object. You can find it in MISC, and it has a lot of options. One of those options is you can teleport Sims in, make them selectable, and tell them what to do with pose boxes. So I'm going to go to teleport, enable summon menu, and it takes a second for it to think, because I have a lot of Sims. And then teleport, summon. I'm going to summon their daughter, and her name's Amanda. She's in the Lewis family. This is their last name. So I'm going to teleport her in. There she is. You can call Sims and have them come in, but this saves time. And when you're just taking pictures, you just want to save time. So I teleported her in. Now I want her to pose. So I'm going to go to the Sim Blender, teleport, make selectable Amanda. So her picture appears over here in the family panel. She's not moved in. She's not a part of the family. You can delete her and she will be back at her place. She lives somewhere in the city. So this is just a way for her to be temporarily selectable, so I can make her pose. But I don't want her to do a romantic pose because she's just by herself. So I'm going to go get a pose box that's just like a singular one for modeling. I'll just grab this one. So see, I can make her pose. Well, I don't know. I didn't know that pose. So I'm just going to have her stop that pose. And most pose boxes are set up in a way where you have a pose, a start, and a stop. There are other pose boxes which don't have that. For example, I have one over here where there's poses, but then the option is different to stop it. Here it is. As you can see, like on this couple's one, it's you just pick it and it starts, but then there's a force end for everything. So that's not the standard start stop, that's just one force end for everything. And if you ever forget what position or pose your Sims are in, most boxes, not all, but most have a snap reset, which will snap them back to regular mode so that you don't have to do a start stop every time. So I'm going to pose Amanda in an appropriate pose. Okay, this is her just ignoring her parents. Or not ignoring, but annoying them. She's like, hey guys, you're grossing me out with your couple whatever. So I'm going to go to tab mode. Like that, and I did a little lower angle. Now, I mean, she kind of looks stiff, like she's not actually making fun of them. Her pose suggests so, but her face doesn't. And I want to highlight a really cool pose box by Decorgal at Mod The Sims, which has facial overlays. It looks like this, and I'll have a link to it in my video. But this one, you can do facial overlays, and I want her to look maybe embarrassed. Let's see if she looks like smiley about that. Maybe not. Maybe disgusted. She still looks pretty happy about her parents cuddling. So I'm going to stop all. I don't know what her face is doing. Anyway, that's a useful tool when it actually works. And most of the time it works. It just doesn't because I'm doing a video right now. But she looks like kind of disgusted her parents are being so cutesy. So let's get that picture. So it's kind of funny. I don't know. And so that's how you pose Sims and teleport Sims in and make them selectable even though they're not part of the family. Another thing I want to note is there's a handy mod called the Freezer Clock, which when you download, it's in MISC, it's from Mod The Sims, where you can freeze a sim in a certain position. Because when you pose them, they're not always guaranteed to stay in that pose, especially if you have to go back into live mode to like cycle through different poses while you pick one. Sometimes they want to wander off and smell flowers or pet strays. So if you freeze them, they won't kind of wander off in that pose. Um, if you've never experienced it, you'll know when you try it. But the freezer clock is great. I have a modded freezer clock because the one from Mod the Sims doesn't work with Sims you teleport in to take pictures, but I have a tutorial on my Tumblr on how to enable the freezer clock or pose boxes, because not all pose boxes work with teleported in Sims because they were just not configured that way when the creator made them. But you can enable that when you go into SimPE. Um, so yeah, that is how you do that and make pictures. Some other tips I want to note is if you go to a community lot, there's a useful mod where you can enable buy and build mode on community lot, which is really handy if you want to get the sim blender or the freezer clock or any of the pose boxes just on the lot, on the fly, just to take pictures in a different setting than a home lot. And again, note that not all pose boxes work on, or they're not even available on community lots, but you can go into SimPE, and that's in my tutorial on how to enable them so they show up in community lot catalogs, so you can use them for your pictures on community lots. Another thing I want to know about the sim blender is, like, for some reason, let's just say we want everybody to be in formal wear. There is an appearance option on the sim blender that's very robust, and you can do everyone clothing. Everybody's in their formal wear. Or if you're doing like an outdoor picture in the winter, appearance, everyone, clothing, outerwear. So that's another just useful tool the Sim Blender has in regards to pictures. It has a lot of tools for regular gameplay too, but you can just read the README if you download that. And there's other mods out there that do the same thing. I just use the Sim Blender. Let me think here. There's some other notes I wanted to go over for pictures. Oh, let's say you're taking a picture and you teleport in a sim, or you grab a random NPC walking by and you're like, I really don't like their hair. I want to change it. There is a really awesome mod called the Gussy Up plugin by Christian Love, and I have that in my game. It's just you gussy up and you can change appearance. However, I think I froze her, so I'm going to unfreeze her while she does that. And it will bring up. So now it's finally up. Let's say I want to give her different hair. I want to give her black hair and I want it to be long. Something like that. Then I would just hit OK. When it applies. See, oh, look. See, he snapped because I didn't freeze Halen right there. He snapped. So I bet you if I pick him up, yeah. I have to like redo this, but that's why the freezer clock is so good. Is because it prevents them from jumping like that. I'm gonna freeze him so he doesn't do that again. Oh, another actual useful picture taking tool is if you're in tab mode and you hit a control and then any button or any key between 4 and 0, you can set a specific angle to come back to. So let's say I really like this angle of them. I would hit control, or I really like this angle, but I wanted to change Amanda's hair back to that red. But in order to do that, I have to lose this angle, and I don't know if I can get it back. I could hit control 5, and that will save this angle. So let's pretend I got out and I changed your hair again. I don't want to do that again because it takes long to load. But then I go back into tab, I hit 5 because it saved it. It goes right back to that angle. That is so useful, and I just found that out recently. So that's another tool you could use. And I think that was all I wanted to go through for now on pictures, but if you have any questions, um, you can ask me at my Symblr, which is cashmeresims.tumblr.com, which I'll put in the description, or you can ask in this video, or mod the Sims. My handle is Charmful. Just anything about pictures, and I will do my best to answer you because there's just so much you can do with pictures. So thank you for watching my video, and I look forward to seeing everybody else's pictures that they do, because it's really fun and it's like one of my favorite things to do in Sims. Alright, bye.